safety of all participants while preserving public order. It also notes credible indications of possible counter-protests in the vicinity. The JCF says it firmly upholds the view that in a modern functioning democracy, all citizens have a right to express their views through lawful and peaceful demonstrations, adding it is the responsibility of law enforcement to provide the environment in which these rights can be freely exercised. Meantime, the JCF has denied having any affiliation with any of the groups that are planning to protest. Police in St. Elizabeth have seized a high-power weapon following a targeted search operation on Wednesday. And while there were no arrests, the police have committed to continue searching the area where they believe more weapons of a similar kind may be hidden and likely culprits lurking. While some Jamaicans were busy pondering their lunch options and daily duties, lawmen in St. Elizabeth took to the wetlands under the glare of the sun in search of illegal weapons, criminals and the like. And as it is often said, what they sought would eventually be found.
At about 11 a.m. today, a team of officers conducted a targeted operation in the Slipe community in the vicinity of Timber Bridge. The general area was searched to include the morass. A number of canoes were seen, and those were also checked, and a search conducted in the bushy areas. At the end of the search, an Intratec submachine gun was seized, no round found, and the serial number erased. The team is continuing the search in this area based on the intelligence that several other prohibited weapons are in this general area.
And despite no arrests in relation to the find with this commitment of the continued search operation, the police commander assures that over time their efforts will yield arrests in relation to the seizure.
We will continue our efforts across the division to ensure that prohibited weapons are removed from the streets and persons connected with committing criminal offences are brought to justice.
The police are urging anyone with information in relation to the discoveries to share what they know with the authorities. In a bid to foster a more peaceful environment for our nation's youth, the Ministry of Education has partnered with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, in the Reducing Small Arms Light Weapons in Jamaica Joint Programme. Adrian Williams tells us more.
Gun violence has impacted the lives of many across the island, and the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information is playing its part alongside the United Nations Development Programme to help change this reality. How? Through its Saving Lives entity or Salient program. Director of Safety and Security in Schools, Richard Troop, says licensed firearm holders will be targeted under this policy as firearm incidents have occurred at home with children, resulting in death. But there is another concern.
We say license the firearm too because we also know that if children have access to it, it is something that can be brought to school because we do not have the systems that would prevent that. I mean, we have a very porous perimeter fence situation, and so it can be brought to campus.
However, it doesn't stop there, as he believes the glorification of guns through various platforms is continually influencing youth along a negative path.
We are in a country too that glorifies violence. The songs that we hear playing across our radio and in the dance hall and things like that glorify every music video you see either a prop gun or a real gun, whatever. But it is sending a dangerous message to our nation's children.
This is why the director considers the program fit to progress in its second phase, noting small arms are easily accessible.
You know, as a small developing country, we should be very concerned, not just as a Ministry of Education, we should be very concerned about the proliferation of small arms in this country. We do not manufacture guns. The ease at which small arms seems to flow in our country is a cause for concern.
Salient is a global project that allocates small grants to catalyze more comprehensive approaches to small arms and armed violence reduction. Adrian Williams for CVM News.
The Negril Morass was again on fire mere days after Water Minister Matthew Samuda met with stakeholders in the area and promised a multi-million-dollar project to address the wetting of the morass. In 2024, that a massive fire lasting over 3 days destroyed property caused major health issues for many in Negril and left stakeholders calling for it to be addressed in a fulsome way. On Tuesday morning, another fire broke out in the Negril Morass. The fire lasted several hours leading up to nightfall, but the fire department did not have to do too much work, as the blaze died down after some time.
We are very, very concerned. We're extremely concerned, and we've been extremely concerned for over 15 years. And the Negril Chamber of Commerce is the one that pushed to have this IWECO project, and the main reason was to stop the fires in the morass, to see how we could re-wet it and bring it back to its natural, as close as possible to its natural way before the canals were cut and the water was drained out of the morass. So it's been a long project, and we've been working on it for many years, and we're very disappointed that the IWECO project has not yet been completed. Minister Samuda has told us that he's coming back to meet with us soon.
She explains that experts have long advised that the best solution for the consistent fires in the morass is the re-wetting from natural sources. This, as she shares, several rivers once kept the morass wet and less flammable, but development dried up those options, resulting in the peat from the morass catching fire more often in dry times. She says the morass can even burn beneath the water for a year before finally traveling upwards, revealing the blaze.
Consistently every year we have these fires. They're getting more and more intense, closer and closer. And it's frightening. I had a guest last year who was terrified. She was like, where do I run to? Do I go into the sea? Do I go into the pool? And I had to calm her down and explain that so far we've been very lucky.
Ramel reasons the incidents have been off-putting for tourists and locals alike, leaving many sick or frightened when they occur.
ODPM came and did a tabletop scenario if something like that did happen. And yes, we have a lot of things in place, but I don't think we have enough in place. Remember, there's only one road in and one road out of Negril. So it's not like we have a lot of options. And so it's something that can be dealt with. It's not that expensive to deal with it. And I think it's time that we're urging the government and Minister Samuda to let's get this done as soon as possible.
We take a break, but there's more CVM News at 7 in just a moment.
I keep earning no matter the season. I have a diversified portfolio with Sagicor Investments Sigma Global Funds. Call me savvy.
Let us help you find your ideal mix of investments today with Sigma Global Funds.
Celebrating
for the first lead story here on CVM TV.
1 year of bold reporting.
And of course we look at solutions, but the fact is
1 year of fearless investigations.
It's a very important argument and it's a very important issue.
1 year of asking the tough questions.
16 is not enough. Is 13 enough?
Lead Story with George Davis is celebrating 1 year of delivering the truth day after day. And we are just getting started.
Let's start the show.
Guess who's back? Back again. Miss Kitty and Dennis are in full swing this spring. We begin with a special money masterclass with Jamaica National. Then we'll dart it to Burt's for their latest product. We'll head back to base to the Sunrise stage. We'll be blazing with loot and fire. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Welcome back. Calls for accountability are increasing as political candidates report acts of sabotage on the campaign trail. One PNP caretaker in St. Anne says the damage goes beyond posters and is now affecting democracy. Shante McNeil reports.
As the election season draws closer, concerns over alleged political sabotage are once again being raised. The latest outcry from the People's National Party's standard-bearer for St. Anne Southwest, Danishka Williams, who says her campaign posters are being repeatedly removed and destroyed across the constituency. She says the latest incident allegedly happened on or before the night of her opponent's Easter Monday event, calling it a targeted act that threatens fair campaigning and democratic values.
It's an issue that I've raised with the Member of Parliament previously, and he assured me that this is not the kind of politics he supports. Yet, it's clear that this commitment to fair play is not being upheld by everyone involved in his campaign.
Earlier this month, similar claims were raised by PNP caretaker for St. James, Dr. Andre Houghton, who reported the unlawful removal of his campaign boards. The matter prompted the party's General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, to call on Montego Bay Mayor Richard Vernon to step in. Williams is now calling for the reinstatement of the Office of the Political Ombudsman, which has since been subsumed into the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, a move strongly criticized by the opposition PNP.
It is an institution that once provided much-needed oversight and accountability in our political process. Its absence has created a dangerous space where political mischief can thrive without consequence. I remain committed to a clean, principled campaign, and I'm calling on every political actor, regardless of their party, to do the same. Our people deserve better. They deserve to hear from all voices without intimidation, interference, or destruction.
Shante McNeil, CVM News.
Over 900 households in Industry Pen, Freehill, St. Mary are now breathing a sigh of relief after enduring persistent low-voltage issues. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has directed the National Housing Trust NHT to address the problem. Member of Parliament for St. Mary Western, Robert Montague, says this is one of several infrastructure projects currently underway in the constituency.
The Prime Minister has instructed that the NHT, although they did not develop the scheme, should correct the issues. And that is exactly what we are doing. So rather than pass the blame around and point finger, I have set about as MP to solve the problems for the people. We have had many community meetings, and as a result, we now have good electricity supply in sections. The sewage system is being worked on, as well as the water supply and roads. So we thank the citizens for their patience and cooperation.
The Southeast Regional Health Authority, SARA, will be observing Vaccination Week in the Americas from April 26 to May 3, 2025, under the theme, Your Decision Makes a Difference, Immunization for All, and will be offering free vaccines to the public. Additionally, Pap Smear Week will be observed from April 24 to 30 in 2025. During this period, the health departments will host various activities across the parishes of St. Catherine, Kingston and St. Andrew to emphasize the importance of immunization and early detection, while also raising public awareness. In recognition of Cervical Cancer Awareness Month in April, SARA is encouraging all women aged 20 and older to get screened for cervical cancer. This disease remains the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths among Jamaican women. Pap Smear Week serves as a key initiative in reducing Jamaica's high incidence of cervical cancer. So members of the public are being encouraged to bring their vaccination cards to the following locations on Saturday, April 26, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. at the Harborview Health Center or the Comprehensive Health Center on Slipen Road, and on Sunday, April 27 in St. Catherine at the Old Harbour Health Center or the St. Jago Park Health Center between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. We now turn to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. In Trinidad and Tobago, Celebrating the commemoration of World Earth Day, the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus has unveiled its solar-powered food park in line with this year's theme, Our Power, Our Planet. This year's theme places particular focus on promoting the use of renewable energy in order to triple clean electricity by 2023. The celebration at the UWI included the distribution of seedlings for the food park, a showcase of solar-powered agricultural displays, talks on sustainability, and more.
Earth Day was commemorated on April 22nd. This year, it placed particular focus on promoting the use of renewable energy in order to triple clean electricity by 2030 as stated by earthday.org. The celebrations at UWI centered around the distributions of seedlings for the food park, a showcase of solar-powered agricultural displays, talks on sustainability, plus more. Faculty member Patricia Jagasar gave an insight on what the food park entails.
We have plants for your home garden, and these plants were donated by the People's Agri Center in Arima, and they are going to continue to provide us with seedlings in the years to come to make that part of the garden sustainable. We have a lot of demonstration of container gardening here. We have some sweet potatoes planted by Cardi, and we also have some lettuce seedlings that were planted by students from our Sir Arthur Lewis Hall.
And in international news, a series of earthquakes, including a 6.2 magnitude tremor, have struck near Istanbul, shaking buildings in Turkey's largest city and prompting people to flee apartment blocks. There have been no immediate report of casualties or wider damage, but officials say they were checking buildings and warned people to stay clear of potential damaged sites. The details from BBC.
I've been living here for 6 years and I have felt previous earthquakes inside my building, and it has tended to sway a little for a few seconds and then settle. Now, what I heard and felt this morning was very, very different. The building really started to shake quite violently, and I could hear a sort of a rumble. And I must say, standing there, I was waiting to see the walls cracking around me, but fortunately that didn't happen. I left the building quickly along with all my neighbours. Here in my district, which is in the European side of Istanbul, people were running out of buildings, gathering in the streets, being careful, Christian, to stand away from the buildings themselves. And there was a degree of shock that was very visible. I saw one woman who was in tears. People were calling relatives, getting calls from relatives, checking to see if they were okay. And the big quake that you mentioned, 6.2, was the main one, but there were two smaller ones recorded before that.
That's it for regional and international news.
There's more to come right after the break, so stay with us.
Into Ultimate Visions and let's dress you for success. From the office to the classroom and everywhere in between. For the most comfortable and durable scrubs and industrial wear, chef jackets and aprons, overalls and lab coats, and of course, school uniforms for the children. We're stocked and centrally located at 10 Shortwood Road, Kingston 8. Call us at 876-339-5493. Ultimate Visions Limited. Your perfect fit is waiting.
When you're investing, consistency is key. That's why I am investing in Sagicor Investments Sigma Global Funds now to get in while the markets are attractively priced. Call me Shrewd.
Let us help you find your ideal mix of investments today with Sigma Global Funds.
So I'm sure you took her to a doctor, and what did he say?
He said that she had a hole in her heart. She's a blue baby.
I thought I would find my papa, but I didn't. I found Uncle Jungly instead.
I will divorce her. It's what you want.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
10, 9, 8, 7,
CVM TV, in association with Express Fitness and Exodus Carnival, presents Fit for Fet, the ultimate workout series to get your body ready for the road. Tune in 5 a.m. every morning, Mondays to Fridays, starting April 7th, to get involved in high-impact workouts by some of the best in the game. Bring your mats, bring your water, and let's get fit for the Fet with Express Fitness and Exodus Carnival, powered by CVM TV.
Sports should be fun. Sports should be interesting. Sports should be entertaining. Sports should be riveting. This is CVM Sports. I'm Jordan Flint.
First, me admit this. Breaking news.
We are diving into the world of creativity. If you come here well dressed, we can help you work.
You can't lift none, so feel it on.
We are going to be having an amazing time with this boss lady in her corner office this week. Hold on, I sweat.
I'm going to put English truck, then I come with AC. You know, so you're not going to bantan me thing. You're not bantan me thing.
I sweat, I know you must come murder.
Thanks so much for staying with us. It's the continuation of the 78-year-old Joseph Arthur James's battles with cancer on Living the Life this week, and a head-turning moment as he looks ahead. Over now to Carolyn Brown.
Living the life defies time and laws. You're looking at a man who between 2004 and 2009 had 4 major procedures as he battled cancer of the colon and the prostate. The most challenging was in 2009. I was very, very, very sick, says a reflective Joseph James.
I was admitted to the hospital emergency, and the doctor told me that I needed immediate surgery. I didn't have the fee, didn't have the money that he wanted 11 in the night. Friday night, so a friend of mine came in, just trying to give an idea how sick I was, and that friend knew the doctor, heard his name and said he knew the doctor, and they met and they greeted and chit-chat, and in a colloquial way, he said, "You see that man sitting lying on the bed? That's my bona fide. And if he says you're going to get your money, you're going to get your money." But to make a long story short, years later, I reminded my friend of how he had to save my life. And he says, "Well, this is what I never told you." When I told the doctor that, the doctor said, "You see, you're bona fide in the bed there, that's a dead man."
I've grown up in a society where death is taken for granted. There has to be death. I do not necessarily agree with that. Transmutation, yes, but death, no. And I completely believe in the way of macrobiotics.
And that's where the knowledge and expertise of skin, body and healthcare specialist Dr. Ted Emanuel came in after she says the physician said there's nothing more we can do.
My daughter, she introduced Dr. Emanuel and asked him to come and see me at the hospital. And he commenced a treatment. He discontinued whatever I was having, not the pharmaceuticals, but whatever diet I was on, we discontinued it and started me on a program of treatment. And I'll tell you, I am a living testament today. Just 15 years ago, that the treatment and his program really worked. That's why I'm sitting here.
What it did for me, though, was to put in the forefront exactly what it is that Ted Emanuel does. Because I'd been on the program, I was doing the program, but I watched him work on my dad. I watched the hospital give up on my dad, and I watched Daddy walk out in 14 days. And I said, this man is special.
You're going through another phase of your life now. Other things have happened to you recently.
Oh, yes, I have lost my hearings to maybe about 50%, and I've completely lost my sight. And it has affected my ability to continue my business or to work. Dr. Emmanuel has assured me that he can let me see again.
And as this compelling testimony unfolds,
You know, you have a gentleman who is really trusting you to, should I say, do a miracle?
More next time. I am Curlin Brown for Living the Life, CVM News. Living the life defies time and laws.
Indeed, and we're looking forward to seeing Jordan now with a bit of what's to come in sports.
Well, Nika, Jamaica's Carifta Aquatics team is back home with more bling around the neck, more medals than they garnered last time. I'll tell you how many in sports. Plus, there's a very important meeting taking place between some ministers of sport in the Americas region, including, of course, Jamaica's very own Olivia Grange. More about that in sports.
Absolutely. Stay with us. There's more to come.
If you know we not sleep, extortion them want, you know that not key. Fight against corruption, turn up the heat. Load up the kickback and fraud when you see it. Anti-corruption, join in the fight. Let's come together and make this right. When you see wrong, you feel open your mouth. Now there's a new avenue for speak out. We need a reduction. Make we fight against corruption.
The Integrity Commission is working towards Jamaica where there's integrity, accountability, and transparency in public service, where acts of corruption by persons in public office will be investigated and dealt with transparency and accountability. Stand with us in the fight against corruption. Call the Integrity Commission Anti-Corruption Hotline 876-926-0001.
Make we fight against corruption.
In a world where innovation meets tradition, agriculture is evolving like never before. From the latest sustainable farming technologies to age-old practices passed down through generation, agriculture is
precious to me.
I love the animals. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I love working.
Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward.
Guess who's back? Back again. Miss Kitty and Dennis are in full swing this spring. We begin with a special money masterclass with Jamaica National. Then we'll dart it to Burt's for their latest product. We'll head back to base to the Sunrise stage. We'll be blazing with loot and fire. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
KFC saucy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. KFC, it's finger looking good. The time by KFC is
7:30.
Welcome back. Now let's dive into the social media conversation.
Let's dive into what's happening online in our local social media spaces. Jamaica's Ministry of Health suggests raising the retirement age to alleviate elderly poverty. They've made several recommendations to the Senate Committee on Elderly Care, emphasizing the need for swift legislative action to address the country's aging population's needs. Here are some of your reactions. At Malika's Flex writes, then when people work longer, younger people have fewer jobs because the older ones are still in the ones they want. At I.Love share, work till you're dead business this. At Nandi_Majesty posts, kiss my teeth. As a matter of fact, retirement age should be 55, bright. At Miss Aesthetic adds, why not advocate for programs that increase the quality of living? Lol, they want people to work till them dead. At Sherry Bun says, make it a choice, 55 or 90, like you politicians. At Ted_D_Bear comments, why not introduce lucrative social development programs that not only takes care of the elderly and prep those who don't reach retirement age for retirement? And that's what's trending online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM Television on Facebook. I'm Adrian Williams.
There's much more to come right after this break.
Being a true game changer is not just about playing the game, it's about rewriting the rules. For 47 years, that's exactly what Barita has been doing. Now, we're launching the Barita Bond, providing you with an opportunity to make your own bold wealth-building moves.
As one of Jamaica's first stock brokerage firms, we've grown with you, becoming one of the most financially sound securities dealers in the country, proudly holding an A+ credit rating from Caracas.
Our strategy is built around you, prioritizing investments in human capital and fostering an environment rooted in trust and collaboration. As a result, we've been able to not only improve our performance, but grow the wealth of our clients and shareholders alike.
Today, we stand strong and growing with approximately 405 billion Jamaican dollars of assets under management. Now, it's your turn. It's time to grow your wealth. Check out the Barita Bond prospectus to begin or boost your wealth building journey.
First, me admit this. Breaking news.
We are diving into the world of creativity. And if you come here well dressed, we can help you work.
You can't lift none, so, feel it on.
We are going to be having an amazing time with this boss lady in her corner office this week. Well, I'm a sweat.
I'm going to put English truck, then I come with AC. You know, so you're not going to bantan me thing. You're not bantan me thing.
I sweat, I know you must come here with that.
People, are you ready? Fit Fire has joined the Fet. If you missed it on the ground, catch it on the TV. Shani Fitness brings her high-energy, dance-filled workout series, Fit Fire, to a TV near you. Join her and her team as they continue to get you fit for the Fet this season. Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. on CVM TV. Fit for Fet, the ultimate workout series, getting you ready for the road. Powered by CVM TV.
Fit for Fet, brought to you by Smirnoff. We do Carnival. Drink responsibly.
Jamaica is on a transformative path, and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and its agencies are leading the way. McJC Matrix is back for Season 2, bringing you the latest on the projects shaping our nation's future. Big changes, bold moves. This is the Season 2 of the McJC Matrix, driving development, transforming lives.
Welcome back. It's now time for the Business Report with Joel Crossgill.
Lots to share with you in the Business Report today about the inevitable nature of change in a sector set up to mitigate risk, as the Insurance Association of Jamaica, during its post-AGM briefing, cast an eye towards the future under new leadership, as Rosemary Henry made her inaugural address as president of the IAJ, at a time the 30-year industry veteran describes as a defining chapter for the industry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered at a pivotal moment. The world is still adjusting to socio-economic shifts triggered by COVID-19 pandemic, the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, and the accelerated adoption of artificial intelligence. The IMF chief economics noted that, and I quote, "The global economic systems under which most countries have operated for the last 80 years is being reset, ushering the world into a new era. I put to you that this reset has already begun. More directly for our industry, the cost and availability of reinsurance, marine and transit insurance, and other key services are affected. Slower domestic growth also challenges our ability to deepen insurance penetration at a time when uncertainty makes protection even more critical.
Undaunted by protectionism, tariffs, and a general slowing in global forecasts, the new president spoke resolutely about the importance of her sector as a cornerstone of the Jamaican economy.
My vision is to lead the IAJ as a dynamic, forward-looking association that is a trusted voice for the insurance industry, a champion for innovation and resilience, and a partner in building financial security and economic inclusion for the people of Jamaica. This means not only protecting what exists, but also advancing what is possible. Our goal is to serve as an effective bridge between members and external stakeholders, ensuring relevance, unity, and collective strength. Driving innovation and best practice. This we know will future-proof our industry. And so we will support members in embracing digital transformation, AI application, and new service models. Innovation will be our ally in improving customers' experience, expanding access and strengthening resilience. We will also promote continuous professional development and uphold the highest standards of ethics and excellence.
As well as regulatory advocacy, including surrounding the emergence of microinsurance, which was spoken of as a new and important frontier for the sector.
The importance of microinsurance is that it is structured for people at the lower end in terms of income. And what happens when they have a catastrophe, where there's a house burned down or somebody dies, they fall back into poverty and have to start over again. So it is very important for insurance penetration, because the final analysis, the default insurer is the government.
So what we're expecting is that the framework will be set so that the life insurance companies, as well as the general companies, will be able to have ease of operation in putting out those products. We do have companies now in the industry that do sell microinsurance products, but they are doing it under the current framework, which does not make it very easy for them to